This video is to explain the concepts and the relationship between the concepts of claim, grounds, and warrant. This, what you're looking at now, is a screenshot from the video that I had you watch for this week's assignment. So here we have the claim, which is essentially the main point or idea that we're trying to convince the reader of. So, for instance, from a previous reading that we did, one author wrote something like, laptops should be banned in the classroom. Okay, so maybe you can't read that so well, but you get the idea. So we want to be able to support this idea. Laptops should be banned in the classroom. Now, someone might have as grounds, or I should make that clear here, really we're talking about evidence. Grounds is what term Toulmin used when he talks about it, but it's basically the same thing. So what evidence do we have to support the idea that laptops should be banned? Well, one thing that was mentioned was people remember better when taking handwritten notes. People remember better when taking handwritten notes. So we have a claim. We don't want laptops in the classroom. We have evidence because people will remember their notes better when taking them by hand. Now, the key element here, and the one that's distinct from other, or at least that's given a term, that it may not be given in other forms of argumentation or discussions of argumentation, is this idea of the warrant. And that's the part where I think some people were a little bit confused when they did the assignment. So basically, the warrant is what allows the speaker, the arguer, the writer, however you want to call it, that allows the speaker to connect this, the claim, and this, the grounds or the evidence. So in other words, how can you say, or what is the relationship between people remembering notes better taken by hand and laptops being banned? So there's some assumptions being put in there, I think. One thing that we can put in as a warrant might be that if we do this, if laptops are banned, more students will take handwritten notes. Now, we see that this might seem obvious to some people and maybe not to others. That's one of the things you need to take into account when deciding what warrants to include. But what you do see here is that this allows, essentially is what allowing the writer to connect the evidence to the claims. Sometimes the warrants may be necessary to mention in your argument. Other times they might be so clear that it would seem almost too obvious to mention. But it's important to understand that they're there so that when you do need to be clear about them, or when you want to refute someone else's argument, you can understand how that argument works as you go through it.